Stage 8 is my second least favorite level in this game. As I said, you remember how cheap I described this as. Yeah, it frustrates me so much that I almost feel that it's not worthy of the breath that I'm going to expend on it. But anything in this area that looks sharp, I guarantee you it will kill you in one hit. The only... okay. I'll be fair. The place has this very cool overall design aesthetic. It does look like a fucked up torture chamber. But it has some annoying qualities. One being that all the blood has been turned green for the American release. And I thank Castlevania Dungeon for pointing that out. I always thought it was odd that they just had this green, slimy shit instead of blood. But even beyond that, you have enemies that are very badly placed in an area that, of course, true to Castlevania fashion, has tons of shit that can kill you in one shot. Most notably, these eyeballs. I hate these things. They should have stayed in Zelda 2 where they belonged. But no. They come in here with nothing but the most unsavory of intentions for you. And it's just... it's an overall very unuser-friendly designed level. This level is one of those classic video game levels that's there to kill you. Without question, without doubt. Like right here, if you don't have a special weapon and your timing is just slightly off, then you can get killed trying to whip that guy. And you can whip across that pit to hit him. What you don't want to do is fall in the green shit. It's not good for your health. At all. It's one of the worst things you can possibly do. Sometimes you'll have to do it to save your life. It's true. But still, bear that in mind. Ugh. That crouch walk looks gay as hell, but my god, is it a lifesaver in this place. You better learn to love it. See, look at that. Instant death for a watch. Now, I could have done that a little bit differently. I could have jumped on the platform. But I wanted to know what was in those candles, so naturally I didn't. And yes, there is sharp shit in the ceiling. And yes, it will fall on you. We'll try to make a 10-cent whore out of you and penetrate you. And by it, I mean they. And you have the flaccid skeletal penis. It was really not so threatening in this. For some reason, they seem far more dangerous in the original. I suppose that's partly because you have the shield whip ability. It's tremendously helpful. And I didn't note this before, but I should have. When you hit the castle, I believe, if I recall correctly, enemies at this point do start doing 4 blocks of damage. I'm not sure if it's every enemy across the board. I don't believe it is. But this is that infamous point in a Castlevania game where enemies start doing that amount of damage. And you have those guys who are in the wall, and you know on the other side there's some giant nasty-ass Cyclops zombie anally raping him. Surprisingly in this game, my opinion, again, Medusa heads aren't nearly as big of a danger as they used to be. It used to be Medusa heads were the penultimate way to get killed. Not so much in this one. Medusa heads, I don't know what it is. I think it might be their more erratic flight pattern. They fly higher and lower, it seems, whereas the ones in the old one used to just come much more straight at you. I mean, they did have kind of a wave to their movement, but not nearly so large as in this one. Now here's where shit just starts to suck. This is what makes this level blow ass. Right here in this room. Once again, it's not so much that this room is necessarily that difficult, it's just cheap. It's painfully cheap. And it goes well above and beyond the, hey, let's kill the player way of thinking. And straight into the, hey, let's make the player get so pissed off that he kills himself. That's what's going on here. It's coming, don't worry. So far, so good, mostly. You know, things look a little bit worse than they did before. Now there, you can jump over that first one, but it's ill-advised. But then you get here. When I first got here, when I was younger, I thought there might have been some kind of pattern to how you're supposed to walk underneath these spikes. And maybe there actually is, but don't try. Just duck down and do this. Just duck walk the entire way. Swallow your He-Man alpha male pride and duck walk your ass to the other side of this, because otherwise it's very likely you'll be killed. And you don't want to be killed there, because things just get much worse, in my opinion. See, this absolutely fabulous cross that I have is likely to be wasted. Right here. I really don't have anything I can tell you about how to better do that. You just have to kind of guess where things are going to end up and be lucky enough to be able to jump across and not get hit on your way. But then you get to the boss, and if you... I mean, the boss really is that one area back there. The boss himself is a pansy. As brutal as Frankenstein was in the original, he's dick in this game.